Hi, my loves. Welcome back to the Starscartel channel. If you don't know, I'm Star. So with this message, it's very specific because somebody asked this, and I'm going to go ahead and record it. Now, I'm going to start with the scripture. The scripture comes from Sirach 14:3. Riches are not appropriate for a stingy person. What would an envious man do with money? He who gathers by denying himself gathers for others. Others will reveal in his goods. If one is mean to himself, to whom will he be doing good? He will not enjoy his possessions. Okay, so here's the message. God said for somebody was wondering, what happens when you pass away? What happens when you die? What happens? What happens? What happens? What happens? Here's the answer. Everything goes black. And you are judged upon your deeds. And that's what happens. And that's what happens. Literally, that's what happens. What happens? That's what happens. Everything goes black. And you're judged upon your deeds. And that's it. That's the message. I just feel like that's the message. Yeah. I don't know why I feel like I'm staying on, I when I get ready to press stop, I'm being told to stop. But as I get ready to keep going, I'm being told not to keep going. Because that's literally, it's not, I just feel like this, for whoever it is that prayed for this, it's almost like you want me to keep going, but it's impossible for me to keep going and tell you specifically exactly what's going to happen when your story is not over. You have more days, weeks, months, years. I'm not sure. I am not God to live. It could it's decisions to make. 211. We all got free will, so it's not always a situation where everything is not set in stone. And that's just real. Everything is not set in stone. Yeah, we have purposes. We have missions, we have guides and drives, and there are certain things that we want to accomplish. There are certain things that we are put here to accomplish. And in reality, you're going to complete your mission. You're going to complete whatever it is that God says you're going to complete. But simultaneously, I just feel like, and that's just what it is, because it depends. And I feel like when it comes down to it, for whoever this is for, at any point in time, it could be a situation where you decide, you know what I'm saying? Because what if I come on here and tell you it's going to be a specific way, and then you decide that you're going to turn your back on God and you're going to go the other way? What if it's a situation where I tell you that you're going to end up somewhere that you're not going to end up because you're going to end up repenting? I cannot come on here and tell you that. All I can tell you is that everything is going to go black and you're going to be judged upon your deeds. And that's the message. And just like it say, I'll go back over the scripture. He who gathers by denying himself gathers for others. Others will reveal in his goods. If one is mean to himself, to whom will he be good? He will not enjoy his possessions. Okay, and I feel like this is somebody, God said, don't be stingy with yourself. And I feel like when it comes down to it, when something is important to you, you're going to strive to ensure that you accomplish whatever that thing, regardless of what it is. I don't know who this is for. I don't know what it is that you have going on and what it is that made you ask this question specifically. But, cause that's the answer. That's the answer. Okay. And that's all I can say. That's the answer. Okay. That's what God said. The answer that he says is everything will go black. And then you will be judged upon your deeds at that moment. And that's just what it is. And other situations too, it's like, it's not a situation where you can take this information and say, okay, well, I'm going to trick such and such into doing something evil, and then I'm going to try to take them out, and then they going to be in HE double hockey stick. You can't set somebody up to go to hell, bro. Go ahead and see that. You know, and that goes along with the message that I received, what was that, yesterday or the day before yesterday, that it's some real, like, you know, Jesus, some real thugs in heaven, because some people don't have a choice in doing things that they doing. It's not a situation where they really want to do that there, but somebody telling them, if you don't, it's going to be a problem. If you don't, it's going to this, that, and the third. There are situations where people try to sweet talk and convince and coerce people into doing things. People can be tricked into doing things. People get forced into doing things all the time. So it's not always a situation where, like, just the fact that anybody that is trying to do that, is no way that you can sit down and try to plan out a way that you could force somebody into creating some kind of sin so that they can go to hell. Like, God is not going to allow you to do that. I'm just being real. He's not going to allow. In fact, it's going to cause you to go to hell. God is not going to allow you to do that. It can't be a situation where you sit up here claiming you a Christian and you trying to make somebody go to hell. Pick a struggle. Which one is it? How you for God? Are you for God or not? 555 as I say that. Because if you for God and you see yourself going to heaven, then you have to have the mindset that you want everybody to go to heaven. Not the mindset that you only want your friends to go to heaven. Like, I'm just being real, because people don't act like that up there. Nobody has that mindset. Nobody is being selfish and greedy and nasty. It's not a situation where somebody is looking at someone else's house and thinking, I want that house, I want that house, I want that house and my house. No, everybody is happy with what they have. Nobody is looking at somebody else's garden and thinking, I need to have that garden, I need to have a garden like that, I need this, I need that. Nobody's looking at somebody else's car and saying that car is supposed to be mine. Nobody looking at somebody else's husband or wife and thinking that they're supposed to belong to them. Everybody is happy with what they have, because what they have is exactly what they desire, what they need, what they want. It's like everything. Like, it is ultimate fulfillment. And in reality, if you are thinking with the mindset of every time you see somebody with something that you like, that you feel like you need to have it, you need to take that from them, like, I can't promise you that you're going to make it. If you sitting around trying to figure out how you can cause somebody else to go to hell, you, like, I feel like that's what the scripture is talking about. Like, you need to be a little selfish and think about yourself first. And I just feel like this is somebody, you need to focus more so on how to make it to heaven instead of trying to figure out how to cause somebody else to go to hell. And that's the message. And I know whoever this is for, you ain't gonna like it. And it is what it is. But I'm just being real. Why in the world would you want to sit around and literally take out the time, effort, and energy to ask God what it's like when someone, just so that you can try to figure out a way to cause someone, it depends on the choices that they made. So it doesn't depend on the choices they are forced to make. It can be a situation where somebody is forced to do certain things, because if they don't, they gonna have to deal with this, that, and the third. Like, it can't be you can't pitchfork somebody to hell. It's not a situation where you give somebody no other options and they have no other option in which they are able to live a sinless life. They have no other options but to do what you're talking about, and then you think that I got them. No, you got you. And I'm just being real. It's not you can't you can't sweet talk God into sending one of his children to hell, especially if it's somebody that he already wrote down as somebody that ain't going to hell. Why are you trying to turn them around? Why are you trying to cause them to sin? Why are you trying to send them there? God said this is somebody you need to think about yourself first. Why are you being wicked and trying to figure out some kind of way to send somebody to hell for all damnation, especially somebody that don't deserve to be there? And, like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just being real. If that's your mindset, that's how you move, and you trying to figure out how to, not only do you want to take somebody's life, you trying to figure out how to force them into hell. God said that's where you are going, bro. Just to be real. Because you are based off of your deeds, and your deeds are not based off of somebody else's decision for you. Your deeds are not based off of somebody and what they really feel like you should be doing, and they gonna do this, that, and the third, so you ain't got no choice. You ain't got no choice. You ain't got no choice but to be with the person that want to take you out, because if you out on the date with somebody else, they gonna pull up, and if you doing this, they gonna this, and if you doing that, you ain't got no choice. You ain't got no choice but to this. You ain't got no choice but to that. You ain't got no choice but to, like, if you doing something like that, what makes you think that person is gonna go to hell? And you literally like going out your way to harass somebody. Like, I just feel like that's what it sounds like. It sounds like somebody that is stalking someone is trying to figure out a way to get them up out of here. Trying to figure out a way to not only take them up out of earth, but they don't even want them to be in heaven. And you know what I'm saying? I'm being real. If you thinking like this here, I don't know why you concerned about this person being in heaven, because you are not going, bro. I'm just being real. How you expect, what makes you think that you finna go to heaven and you sitting up here plotting somebody's life, bro? You plotting to take somebody's life, bro? You trying to figure out some kind of way to get them going good. And you think God is okay with that? Do you think God is going to be like, well done when you get there? And you trying to take the life of somebody that is innocent and haven't did nothing to you? Because apparently, if they did something wrong, you wouldn't have to ask this question and try to figure out why they not going to hell. They not going to hell because they have done no wrong. And that's the message. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Deuces.